prior to Life Wave and currently still, I've been in the alternative wellness sector for a long time. I do massage and skincare and yoga and energy work and nutrition and kind of everything under that umbrella. Um, just like the other people who says that you learners are earners. I'm always open to learning. I don't think that I know everything, and I continue to study subjects on stuff that I am very, very well versed in because we always get a different perception from someone else. So I'm always up early in the morning. I'm always studying, working out, doing all the things. Prior to Life Wave, uh, I'm always doing things. I was relatively healthy compared to the average. Not that I didn't have things going on. Um, but when I first heard about Life Wave, which was actually a few years ago, my friend that told me about it was like, I have an infrared patch I want you to use. And immediately I'm like, tell me about the patch. How is it different from my light therapy, my sauna, all this? I'm very into it. I suggest it to my clients. She sent me no information, told me nothing about it. And I'm like, I got a lot of infrared therapy. I went on about my day. Fast forward to about a year ago, I happened to see a few of my friends that had miraculous recoveries. One had been in a wheelchair. A couple of my girlfriends that were in their 60s out playing tennis and stuff again. And they were looking quite younger. And I know they hadn't had any procedures done. So I asked all of them, they're all like, oh, I'm patching with X39. So I immediately was like, all right, somebody better tell me something. So the very first video I saw on the photobiomodulation, I was like, this is my love language. I was like, I know that I want to get the patch, at least for preventative wellness, and whatever happens, happens. I connected with Laura because I heard that she was doing it and she was running it on the business side, and I knew that was something I wanted to build. And Laura's a great networker. She is a humble, awesome person that actually gets to know people. So that's why I wanted to connect and build business with Laura. And so that's how I got into LifeWave. I've been patching now for about 11 months. Uh, the game changers for most people were not my game changers. I already had off the wall energy levels. I've never had brain fog a day in my life, and I was relatively sleeping well, or so I thought. As soon as I did the X39, and I gave myself the first 2 weeks where I just did X39 because I wanted a subjective baseline for myself before I started adding other patches. Uh, Within the first day, my energy levels went from Tigger to Tigger meets Energizer Bunny. So I was really bouncing all off the walls. I found that my really, really good focus turned into laser focus. I have been checking more things off of my to-do lists and getting a lot more things accomplished. Uh, and even though I thought I was sleeping really good, I started sleeping so deep that I realized I was not regenerating. I was probably doing better than the average prior to patching, but now I'm doing a lot better. And I was always big on water and electrolytes. The first couple weeks, I felt like I was in the Sahara Desert, very thirsty, and I was like, "My God, I'm not getting enough electrolytes." So that was a wake up call for me. It helped me to get on the journey of discovering other things that I had going on, and so those things happened in the first couple weeks. By the end of the second week, I started noticing that muscle recovery looked good. Now, I'm 47. I'm very active doing massage. I play ice hockey and inline hockey. So my energy levels are always great to do like 5 to 8 hours of massage and go skate 2 hockey games. However, the next day my muscles are like, oh my God, you need a foam roll, you need a massage. At the end of the second week, I was like, wait a minute. I had to remind myself to do my preventative maintenance. I always do preventative maintenance, but my body was telling me I needed it before. And so I was like, And then I was like, all right, I'm really going to test it out. I'm going to skate in a hockey tournament. So, I had regular season games and then a tournament, so I skated about 9 games over a span of 3 days. And Monday evening, I was expecting to just be hitting the floor. Not at all. I felt like I did in my early 30s. And that was only after 2 weeks of patching. I was like, I don't care anything, whatever else happens, I'm sold because this allows me to keep doing the things I love without feeling like my body is aching. Now, a lot of that muscle aching and lack of recovery, I call it the 40 for 40. When I hit my 40s, it's like perimenopausal symptoms came on. I gained 40 pounds. That's when I started having slower muscle recovery. And no matter what I did, I fasted, changed nothing really worked. I would lose 10 pounds and it would come back. I added the Eon in. At the end of my 4th week, I had started losing some weight. And the reason why is because that inflammation was starting to drop. And that gave me a good marker of how much inflammation was really going on in my body, because I went and had blood panel work done. And of course, everything, oh, your hormones are normal. Everything's normal. Well, I'm like, if it was normal, that these things wouldn't be going on. And so it's allowed me to start digging deeper into where my actual imbalances are as my body is starting to balance itself and I'm able to support myself. So I started adding other patches. I added X49, SP6, and glutathione because I came across the belly protocol. And if everybody doesn't have this book, we can get it from our team, Self Healing with Light. I was like, why not? Let me just finish trying it. And at the end of my 2nd month, I was down like 25 pounds. That's how much inflammation was happening in my body. And I couldn't believe it. Because eat healthy, try to eat organic, doing turmeric, all the things. And I probably would have been way worse if I wasn't doing those things. So those were big game changers for me. Now, other things I started noticing over time. When I hit my 40s, I know I see a bunch of you are a little older too. How many, like, our skin started to dry out, got drier, lost elasticity. Uh, Probably about the 4th or 5th week, I really noticed moisture was coming back into my skin. My skin was starting to lift. I didn't have a lot of lines and wrinkles, but my crow's feet are almost completely gone. My 11 lines are almost completely gone. The area around the nasolabial folds have pretty much lifted really well, and the hydration is staying in my skin. The barrier function has done a lot better. And mind you, I'm also an esthetician, so I was always doing the right products, adding the hyaluronic acid, all those things. But for your cells to start regenerating, it's a game changer when you're
So,
looking at, yes.
yeah. So, Tammy, I don't want to interrupt you, but we're running a little short.
Okay.
You have such an amazing testimony that I know already, like, people are freaking out in the chat. However, I love how we're going to lead into this, because today, when you told your story, because everybody faces this, regardless of who you are, it's not a selective something that happens. Share with them in the next minute about what you shared with us today on the Zoom about your height.
Yes. So when I was 16, I was 5'2". I had extensive injuries and stuff going on in my lumbar spine. I was working to try to get it fixed with chiropractic and massage. I learned about that when I went to massage school. In my 30s, I got in a car wreck. Someone rear-ended me when I was sitting still at 45. It broke my back. I opted not to do surgery. I asked the doctor, could I see my x-rays? I did all types of holistic therapies, breath work. It was a long journey. With flexion distraction chiropractic, I went from 5'2" to right under 5'4". Once I started patching in this past year, I've gained almost an inch in height from the inflammation letting go of my spine. And I know that I have seen other people's testimonies where they had the x-rays side by side, and I saw that their stenosis and everything went away. And I've been feeling, the areas that were chronically tight have just let go. And people who haven't seen me in a while, a lot of times they comment like, well, you look younger, you always look young, but they're like, you're taller, you look taller. I'm like, yeah, I am taller.
Awesome.
And it's not because I'm miraculously growing older at almost 50. I'm probably hitting the heights that I probably would have been had I not had structural issues and not only that, the car wreck that I was in the 30s, I got in someone ran a stoplight and T-boned me in 2017. So, there again, I was doing natural stuff, a lot more inflammation to try to manage. These patches have been a game changer. And that is one of the reasons why I've been putting a lot of my clients on them, because I work with people who have back injuries and have
Yep.
had surgeries, and everyone has inflammation.